Good afternoon, everyone. It's about 3:30, 25 to 4 on Friday, the 14th of May. I hope you're all well. Market looking a little bit better today after quite a difficult week, as you all probably have experienced. The advances significantly in advance of the declines today, and not enough to change any of the measures of the trend on VectorVest. The short-term trend is down, underlying trend is down, and we've got a confirmed down in place, and the old traffic light says doesn't advocate buying stocks at this time. I cleared out of everything at the start of the week, and I have one position left in the GDX, and I think that that's a good place to have a look to start off with. That's the gold market, and the gold market handled the sell-off in equities very well, and as you can see, it's making rising bottoms here. I put up this chart 1,000 times. That's a double bottom, which is at a 62% retracement of the last big range, and it's doing its best to get up out of this flag-like pattern that is much easier to see on the weekly chart. I've actually shown that chart many times, so reasonably pleased how well that's holding up. That low was above this high. That's always a good sign, and clearly we need to get through that 1850 level. Every level here will be fought for. So gold looking good, and I can see that latest little purchase of mine that I made, I think last Friday, Pan African Resources, nicely up today. It's sporting a particularly good positive Gartley pattern that has been very useful to me over the years. So on the American market, I haven't done anything apart from this, and that's the SPY. That's the S&P 500 itself. That's a 5-minute chart, and I couldn't resist long here yesterday, and as you can see, thrust from the low and a pullback in 3 waves, and that came to freehand, that came right to this level, so this resistance became support, and there's a AB equals CD move here. That in points is exactly the same as that in points, and it turned out to be, I think, a 62% retracement, and that's been a very nice move indeed. For once I held it overnight. Didn't hold all of it overnight, but I held some of it overnight. And in terms of a short-term target, if we draw a fib, we can see that it's consolidating exactly where it should be consolidating, at a 1.618 extension of the pullback. So not saying it can't go to 2.618, but as you can see, there was enough people up there taking their profits to hold it for the last hour or two. If we have a look at a longer time frame, that's the 4-hour chart of the same market. This is the overnight market, and that's the run up from this low 4035, and it's up 120 points off the low. I think that the 62% retracement at 4164, the shorts will come out. The shorts came out overnight at 4125, held it overnight at 4125, and let's see how it gets on at 4164. So starting to move up very strongly indeed. Made up an awful lot of this range, but it needs to get up 4165, 4199. I would expect it to make a rising bottom before that. So just remember, the trends are still down, and until we get evidence to the contrary, this is still a counter trend move, folks. So as I say, I've done nothing in the US market as yet, apart from that very nice little trade in the S&P, and of course, if I go to the watch list, I've got, I think, just the GDX. I was looking at a few other ones. Upstart, I got stopped out of it a few weeks ago, but starting to look interesting from a technical perspective. and as you can see, I bought into it here and made a little bit, got my stop to entry, got stopped out there, big deal. But it's now charting this 5-wave pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and it's at a fib level. If we go from here to here, as you can see, there's the 62% retracement coming in. Had a big day on news the other day, and consolidated a little bit. Haven't done anything, but I've been looking at that. The GDX itself is doing pretty much what the gold price is doing, and reasonably happy with that. As you know, I made that trade based on a 5-year view, or a weekly view should I say, where I saw this resistance becoming support and this textbook flag down to a 50% retracement, and the old MACD on the weekly chart had made this bullish reverse divergence, which some people call a slingshot. So I'm reasonably happy with that. I'll shout in the UK, in the US when I'm going to do something, but until, as I say, the technical picture changes, we have to assume that we're in a rally in a bear market. That could change over the next couple of days. But I'm very happy with that little long that I have on the SPX. That'll keep me fed and watered for the next day or two. In the UK, well, in the UK, we've also got a short-term trend is down, and apart from one day up, it's been down for the last couple of weeks. However, the underlying trend is still quite strong, and the confirmed call since the 11th of November last year is still in place. Vectorvest does not advocate buying stocks at this time. I haven't done anything. I was going to buy Persimmons on Monday afternoon, but the market opened so strongly against us. If you remember, on Monday afternoon the sentiment had changed completely, and the S&P sold off, so I didn't do anything, but I'm still interested in the share. One share that I do like the look of, and I have quite a big position in it, is Games Workshop, because yesterday, in a pretty miserable day, it in fact managed to do exceptionally well. It's in this little box, and many of you will have read the works of Nicholas Darvas. Darvas would have called that a Darvas box. Still hasn't broken out of the box. There's resistance, that's support, that's been in place now for a couple of weeks, and I think technically this share looks to me as if it wants to go higher. It's on a buy recommendation. I've added to the share a couple of times since I bought into it last April, way down here somewhere. To me it looks as if it wants to go a great deal higher, and a measured move here would be this bit added to that low, which would take it to 180 or 190. We shall see. We shall see. But I'm holding that position. And as I say, I'm going to buy into Persimmons if and when Vectorvest tells me that it's safe to do that. Pan African Resources, a textbook Gartley pattern on Pan African Resources, and I just couldn't resist buying into it again. It looks much better on a longer term view, and those of you that are wavers would see the wave 1, A, B and C, and then this wave 3, and a pull back to that last old high. It looks to me as if this wants to go again. I know the mine exceptionally well, and again, if I can find my MACD, we have this very powerful, in my humble opinion, slingshot pattern, which and the MACD is just about to cross. It's up a penny or two today, so still hanging in there. That pattern made famous by Harold McKinley Gartley over 100 years ago. So I'm very enthusiastic about Pan African Resources. So let's see how it goes. So folks, that's pretty much all I've got for you. I think that there's going to be some tremendous bargains around in the American market relatively soon. but too early to do anything. When you follow the rules on VectorVest, you get very lucky indeed. So at the minute on both markets, it advises not to be buying any stocks. I think that will change very quickly next week. Thanks very much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.